Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of February 2021 to order. My name is Rita Picard, and I'm going to ask our Executive Director, Michael Bergman, to please call the roll.
Sure, thank you. Rita Picard.
Here.
Philip Raymond.
Here.
Michael Rackman.
Here.
Jay Baymel.
Here.
Stanley Spitzer.
Here.
Susan Dove.
Here.
Phyllis Miner.
Here.
And with us today is myself, Michael Bergman, Executive Director, and Norma Taylor, Director of Property Management.
Good morning.
Thank you, Mike. And welcome to all of our board. We have a full board here. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Susan Dove on being reelected to the board. And
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Phyllis Miner, who was elected to the board of CenClub, and we hope we make it easy for you. So far, so good, right, Phyllis?
Right.
So, okay. And next, could we please, Mike, get our flag, and we'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
and to the republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
with liberty
indivisible,
and
with liberty
peace
and justice
Justice
for
for
all.
all.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes as printed in this month's reporter that you should have received by now? Susan Dove,
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
and Stanley Spitzer seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We have some correspondence, but I'm always hard put to decide to put it here or during the open mic, so I'm going to invoke my privilege and move it to the open mic area. You know, those that are visiting at our meeting, you are muted. And if you have a burning question, you can put it in the chat. If not, we will have an open mic session at the end. And by raising your hand, I do have some questions that were sent in, and we'll answer those, and then we'll open it to other questions. So we'll do my little message, and let me explain once again that we're a board of volunteers who are trying their best to allow the residents of Century Village to have the best life possible. We're elected to our positions by other designated residents. You, the residents, do have certain rights. You have the right to be an elector who votes. You have the right to run for any position that's up for re-election. However, once a board member is elected, they have the responsibility to do the job in the best manner they can. The individuals who serve on the three entities serving our village, CenClub, Master Management, and Cookville, give much of their time to improve our lives. Like it or not, we are still in a pandemic. Actually, as of last night, Florida has some of the worst numbers with the new strain of COVID that's moving in. The board of CenClub is committed to keeping you safe and healthy. Let us be clear, you might not agree with some of our rules, but the decision to make them is part of our responsibility. We also have a fiduciary duty, and I will go into that as part of the open mic section. We have continued to add activities for your enjoyment. We continue to have entertainment out at the gazebo. We've added a dance and music in our parking lot. So some of our ideas, I think, are novel. All of our physical activities are back. The baton courts are being used. The bocce courts are being used. We have stickball going. We have volleyball going. So if you're not thinking that you're missing, if you're thinking that you're missing something, it's because you're not checking our emails and going to the staff office and picking up the activity lists. We have continued to add those activities, but if we are to keep our pools open, we will have to ask you for your cooperation with our COVID rules. And I know a lot of you don't agree with them, but it's our responsibility to enact them. We're still sticking with no guests in our clubhouse, no guests in our pools. That includes your relatives that come down to visit. Most of them do not quarantine, and we are just trying to keep ourselves and you as healthy as we can. So we thank you for your cooperation. Every new resident receives a resident guide, and I alluded to this during the cookie meeting, but I wanted you to know that this is what it looks like. And our committee worked very hard to get a new one out there. We got it printed up, and every new resident receives one of this with our rules in it. What you do at your building is your business. I would suggest that you also come up with some kind of booklet with your building rules in it. We at CenClub heard the cry for a new office for Cookville. We have done some rearranging, and we will be giving them the International Library to use as the new Cookville headquarters, and we will announce when it's ready. We're making some movements. We're recarpeting the room over in the clubhouse for the International Library, which we will be moving over there. But Cookville will have their own building thanks to CenClub. So that about does it for me for right now. Mike Bergman, if you'd like to give us your report, I'd appreciate that.
I'll read them.
Oh.
Jay first.
I think we're going with the treasurer's report first.
That's right.
I always overlook you, Jay. I am so sorry because you're the best on the list.
Wait.
Go.
Thank you, Rita. Good morning to the board, and good morning to all our neighbors out there this morning. I'm going to give the treasurer's report for the month of January 2021. And I'm talking about our operating account. At the beginning of January, we started out with $577,775. We received $967,519. We dispersed in the month of January $717,234, and we transferred to our reserve account $420,318, leaving us with a balance in the checking account, in the operating checking account, $407,742. Insofar as the transfer to the reserve of $420,318, of that amount, $73,000 was our normal monthly transfer for the insurance deductible. We will fund $73,000 each month into the reserve for the remainder of our current fiscal year ending September 30th, 2021, because we want to reach our targeted budget of $875,000 for the insurance deductible. The other $347,318 was a transfer to the reserve in anticipation of upcoming major projects, which Mike Bergman will probably speak about. But we have some much more costly and major projects that are underway, have been approved, and will be we will be spending money on it in the next few months. So at the end of January, we had 407,742 in our operating account. We had $86,176 in a lockbox account. We had $6,971 in petty cash. So our aggregate working cash is $500,889. And we had $1,540,248 in our reserve cash account. So our aggregate cash at the end of January 31, 2021 is $2,041,137. Getting back to that reserve account, as we build up the insurance deductible, the reserve will be adjusted monthly as we pay for these upcoming major projects and replace them with new improvements from our capital needs plan that we've talked about in the past. Financial highlights for the end of January. We expect that our audited financial statements for the year ended September 30th, 2020 will be issued very soon by our outside independent CPA firm. As that task is completed, the board will make the financial report available to CenClub members. For those of you who might be unfamiliar with the terminology, the report will be issued with a clean or unqualified opinion, meaning that the financial statements fairly state, without exception, CenClub's financial position as of September 30th, 2020, and the results of operations in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles in the United States of America. That is the highest level of professional reporting, and CenClub is extremely pleased with this conclusion in our first year. Other statistics: accounts receivable were at $322,044, up from $318,631. There were some insignificant differences in the current and over 30-day past due categories, which accounted for this change. As we report to you each month, we are continuing to work at CenClub as a coordinated team with our collection attorneys, property manager, and dedicated CenClub staff to administer this very important responsibility. Liens and foreclosure actions have been our most powerful tools to ensure compliance, especially in those instances where satisfactory payment arrangements could not be put into place. To remind you again, these are our neighbors who are not paying their required obligations, and they should be held accountable for their noncompliance because their delinquencies affect all of us. At the end of January, total assets of CenClub Recreation Management, Inc. were $7,500,909, up from $7,077,478 at the end of December. Liabilities were $830,236, up from $702,134. Consequently, CenClub members' equity, which is the arithmetic difference between total assets and total liabilities, was at $6,670,673, up from $6,375,344. Does the board have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jay. May I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report as given?
Motion to accept.
Thank you, Phyllis. And a second?
I'll
Susan
second.
Dobbs seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you again, Jay. Great report. We have money constantly moving in and out, as everyone can see. I forgot to thank Cliff Pupus for sending out an email to get us more people to come to our meeting. Thank you, Cliff. Some people complain we have too many emails going out there. We do send them out. We do want people to come to our meeting, and especially this one because it's our very first live and in-person meeting. Now, Michael Bergman, our executive director, is going to give us a report, I hope.
All right. Hi, good morning, everybody. It's good to see so many people joining us today. I'm going to give my normal report, but before I do so, I wanted to share our 2020 annual report video with you. We would have showed it at the last meeting, but it took quite a while to compile everything we've done over the past year. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here and show this video to everybody. This past year has brought many challenges and changes to our community. CenClub Recreation Management, Inc. has remained dedicated to supporting the residents of Century Village East, all while providing programs and services in a safe way. We've accomplished a vast number of projects throughout all of recreation properties. From updating landscaping to finalizing the purchase of the recreation facilities, CenClub has had a very productive year. During these times, it's important to stay connected. Providing information regarding events and services is paramount to ensuring residents are updated. We are proud to say that the clubhouse and essential services have remained open throughout the pandemic. In addition to these essential services, CenClub has offered emergency communication outlets on local channels 98 and 99. These two channels are important resources that residents access daily. The systems for these channels have been upgraded to provide a better viewing experience for our residents here at Century Village East. We take health and safety seriously, and the sanitation of the clubhouse throughout the pandemic has been a top priority. Sanitation stations and sanitizer dispensers have been added throughout the recreational facilities. We have stocked up on essential products such as paper towels, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and Virex, an industrial disinfectant. We remain focused on the well-being of our residents, regularly sanitizing all the frequently touched surfaces and equipment here at the clubhouse. 2020 has transformed our entertainment and fitness, opening opportunities for residents to enjoy events and classes worldwide. The year has enabled our staff to be creative, offering more services online and providing more customer service support in these trying times. Events and programs were transformed throughout the world during the COVID-19 pandemic, and here at CenClub we adapted just the same. Events were moved onto a virtual platform, movies were offered on our local channel, and fitness classes offered through video conferencing. All CenClub departments have been working non-stop to bring you services and programs year-round.
We've done a lot to maximize our operation of the recreational facilities in the past year. Our focus has shifted to sanitation and security to ensure residents feel comfortable and confident in the use of our amenities. Security desks were custom built in-house by our master carpenter, Jerry Mall. These desks make the entries to the clubhouse look great, and built-in ID card scanners provide better security for residents. Our website was also redesigned with residents in mind. Navigating through content, making reservations, and utilizing services has never been more accessible. We shifted our fitness classes to a reservation system to control capacity and to keep a list of attendees for each session. We've been successful in managing over 60,000 reservations since reopening the fitness center and athletic classes. Strict parameters and disinfecting routines have been put in place to ensure resident safety while they enjoy the clubhouse. Another exciting improvement is the video conferencing equipment installed in the fitness classrooms. With the fitness schedule moving to online classes due to the pandemic, these upgrades allow us to continue to stream live once classes are back in person. We updated colored and themed lighting around the clubhouse landscape, cupola, and main lobby. These themes are changed throughout the year to reflect the season or holiday. This next year, our focus will remain on the residents, providing them with more amenities in a safe and secure environment.
We kicked off 2020 with some great activities, events, and shows. Early in the year, our trips to Shark Valley and the Performing Arts Center were very popular. When shows and trips were halted due to the pandemic, we had an important job of continuing to provide residents entertainment. Working with the City of Deerfield Beach to navigate certain mandates, we were able to coordinate fun outdoor events for residents to enjoy safely and, more importantly, feel comfortable attending. Events like Food Truck Wednesdays and the Show in the Gazebo were designed around the COVID-19 guidelines to ensure fun and safety for all attending or watching live online from home. In 2021, we are eager to bring Century Village more entertainment options that suits everyone's lifestyle.
Events and classes have been transformed at Century Village this past year. Although the meeting rooms were offline, we offered 42 online classes to residents with the instructors they love. We also opened up a few recurring learning events to residents virtually. The cook-along events with Chef Alice were very successful, and the Art and Sip with local artist April Dubois was so much fun. We hosted a virtual exotic animal experience in 2020, where residents were able to ask questions about the creatures and critters on screen. Despite the pandemic, we were able to continue our relationship with Broward Health North, offering monthly health discussions tailored to our residents. We at CenClub are looking forward to another great year of quality events.
The fitness center has been very active despite the coronavirus pandemic. At the beginning of the year, we reupholstered all of our fitness equipment with a beautiful and durable bright blue material. Some highly desired equipment was added to our collection, including an upper body ergometer, adjustable stride length elliptical, and a self-contained stretching area, which created a platform for comprehensive stretches. One of our most innovative successes this year has been our online fitness experience. We have been offering live classes virtually through Zoom with our current instructors. We plan to continue this online option even as we open up classes for residents to participate in person. Safety and sanitation is a top priority in the fitness center, and we continue to sanitize all the equipment in between workout reservations.
One of our best seasons in the theater was cut short in early 2020, but in light of the pandemic, we focused our efforts in continuing to improve the entertainment experience in the theater here at CVE. The audio system was restored with the purchase of a state-of-the-art soundboard. Lights and special effects equipment were adjusted on the truss, leaving room for upgrades in 2021. In addition to equipment enhancements in 2020, we were creative in providing entertainment to residents throughout the season. We introduced the CVE Performing Pumpkins display for the fall and upgraded the candelabra bulbs and fountain lights in the lobby to reflect the colorful themes for each holiday. Our team was able to sit in on webinars and other virtual continuing education events in an effort to stay ahead on all aspects within the production world. We underwent training in audio and network systems, in production, lighting, programming, and so much more. When the time comes, we're excited to welcome residents back into our theater.
2020 was a year of important maintenance for the recreation facilities. We complete 1,741 work orders. In addition to the normal maintenance routines, we have our 40-year inspection of the clubhouse, which was successful. We upgraded the reset lighting in all common areas and hallways to LED, saving energy and cost in utilities. The clubhouse received a new fire pump motor for the sprinkler system. Meeting and events spaces received a fresh coat of paint. Another big project that we have been working on through the year is building and installing new benches throughout the facilities. We are ready to continue improving the facility in the new year.
We have accomplished a lot this year at all of the pools throughout the community. 481 orders were completed. In addition to some major projects and renovations, we upgraded all of the area and pool house lighting to brighter and more energy efficient LED fixtures. Life-saving equipment, gate locks, fence rails, and clocks were newly replaced. Lyndhurst South and Oak Ridge pools were both resurfaced, and we plan on doing more into 2021. A huge improvement we are excited about is the completion of the new on-site chlorine tank. This will save our team time and money in transporting chemicals from pool to pool.
As the lease of the recreation facilities came to an end, we're thrilled to announce the Board of Directors exercised the option to purchase the facilities from the developer. This endeavor took years of planning, and we're pleased to be a part of such a momentous event in our community's history. The final payment for these facilities was satisfied in December of 2020, and we thank all of those entities involved. Throughout the clubhouse property, we've added new LED lights along the sidewalks, roadways, and parking lots. These durable lights are much brighter, but more importantly, energy saving and cost efficient. To finalize our flooring upgrades in the clubhouse, new carpet has been laid in all the meeting spaces. This beautiful material is durable and easily maintained. This new flooring consists of a grid of carpet squares that can be replaced individually if stained or torn. The landscape across all recreation properties continues to thrive, along with some improvements to keep CVE beautiful. The majority of landscaping projects in 2020 include replacing the second floor drop-off median trees and shrubs. 2 beautiful Sylvester palm trees have been added, along with lush and tropical plants and shrubs. Another exciting improvement was at the Ventnor Pool, where we eliminated the invasive and overgrown Royal Ponciata tree. The garden bed was filled with juvenile flowering plants and hedges that will grow nicely in a few months. The dying ficus hedge by the shuffleboard courts were replaced with beautiful and durable Calusa hedge along with 12 foxtail palms. We're excited to have Old Florida Cafe on property for our residents to enjoy. The cafe is going above and beyond in offering great specials and great prices, as well as following all CDC guidelines and sanitation.
We have quite an extensive menu already with a number of different burgers, omelets. We have specials that we run every day. All our products are homemade. Everything is just made every day, fresh. Our portions are huge, and just a good meal, a good home-cooked meal.
Keeping our emergency systems up and running is one thing we know is important. Our backup generator here at the clubhouse was 40 years old, and although tests were done regularly, parts became impossible to find. We installed a new standby generator this year to ensure the emergency lights and essential services here at CVE can remain available, even during an outage. Here's a look at some of the additional projects we've completed in 2020. Here at CenClub, we're excited to share some major improvements for 2021. We renewed our custodial service contract with Encompass On-Site to ensure consistency and sanitation throughout our facilities. Custodial operations have been adapted to prioritize disinfecting of surfaces, furniture and equipment throughout the clubhouse, courts, and swimming pools. As our community continues to thrive, CenClub has set a standard for on-site sanitation. 2020 was the most active and 5th costliest hurricane season on record, with storms providing winds up to 150 miles per hour. Prior to the storm season, our staff has worked diligently on updating the tropical storm and hurricane emergency procedures, and I'm proud to say protocols were successfully executed each time. In continuing to combat future storms and preserve the infrastructure of the recreation facilities, the CenClub board has approved a full upgrade of all the clubhouse windows to hurricane impact. This massive improvement will reduce the insurance costs and safeguard our beloved clubhouse for generations to come. Here at CenClub, ID cards are critical in ensuring residents have access to the services and amenities they need. In 2021, CenClub will be issuing new ID cards to every resident in Century Village East. These new IDs will coincide with our ticketing and event system, along with providing our facilities with more access options in the coming years. For years, residents who enjoyed the petanque and bocce facilities at the clubhouse have relied on umbrellas to provide shade from the South Florida sun. We're excited to finally provide canopies on all the courts with lighting so residents can play at night. These cantilever-style coverings, similar to what we have at Shuffleboard, will be a huge improvement aesthetically and functionally for those popular games. With the growing need for virtual meetings and events, we've put together a plan that will allow residents the capability to hold virtual meetings in all of our multi-purpose rooms. Once restrictions are eased, clubs and organizations will have access to webcams and computers to meet with members both in person in the meeting rooms and online. To improve safety and security at the pools throughout our community, we are upgrading our camera system to high-definition network cameras. With these upgrades, camera coverage at the pools will increase by over 90%. The hardware is durable and it will keep our residents and facilities secure for years to come. With more projects and entertainment ahead of us, we want to thank everyone for a great 2020 in Century Village. From all of us here at CenClub, we wish you a happy and healthy 2021. All right, and that concludes our 2020 annual report video. I want to remind everybody that, oh, thanks, Rita. I want to remind everybody that the video will be shown regularly for the next few weeks on our Channel 98 system, as well as online at cenclub.com/documents, along with a printable version, hard copy version of the report. We also have a few for pickup in the staff office, a printed booklet version of the annual report. Will be available for pickup in the staff office in the coming days. We're just waiting to get that back from the printer now that it's complete.
Mike, if I could just interrupt you a second, I'd like to congratulate our entire staff, you, Andy, and everyone else involved in the making of that. It was wonderful. It gave us an overview, quite a good overview of all the projects we've done, what our place looks like, and 3 cheers to you.
Thank you so much, Andy, and
Very good.
did a fantastic job. It was definitely a group effort, and
Thank you.
I think it came out really well. So thank you.
I think so.
Okay, moving on. I'm just going to go over our coronavirus operations update, which I do every month for people who are just joining the village or people who are coming in from out of town. I just want to go over the current rules, regulations, and updates for the recreation properties. Nothing has changed since last month as far as rules go, but I just want to go over them again. For those residents just arriving to the village from out of town, the clubhouse is open for normal hours of operation. All of our offices are open. Only residents are permitted in the clubhouse at this time. Guests and realtors are not permitted into the recreation facilities, including the swimming pools, until further notice. The clubhouse outdoor swimming pool continues to be open for residents only. Let me remind you that it is open for swimming. It's not open for lounging. We're going to ask security to do a better job keeping an eye on the pool deck to make sure people aren't eating and people aren't lounging on that pool deck. Like I said, it's only for swimmers. If you do want to come out of the pool for a moment to take a break from swimming, you're allowed to do that, but you can't go out there in your street clothes. It's open for swimming only right now. It's monitored and it's cleaned in between each session. So a big part of the reason why we have that area is for residents who are uncomfortable going to one of the other pools where there is no monitored cleaning. Those pools do get cleaned regularly. However, the clubhouse pool gets cleaned every hour on the hour, and we're sure of that. We're watching it happen. Residents can sign up at the clubhouse staff office or online to make a reservation for the clubhouse swimming pool at CenClub.com. The satellite pools are also open for resident use only from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Furniture has been restored at 75% capacity right now on the furniture. I know those of you who are here all the time are used to seeing more furniture there. We have less furniture there to account for the social distancing that's necessary to have the pools open. Both security and CenClub employees are monitoring the swimming pools throughout the day. They're checking CVE ID cards. We know it's annoying. We know people don't like having to do it, but it's a requirement. We want to make sure that the pools are open for CVE residents only and no guests. We've been getting a lot of people bringing their children, their grandchildren, friends from outside the village to the pools, and we want to just do our best to make sure that's not happening. One of the only ways we can really do that is to check ID cards. So please make sure you have your ID card with you if you're at the pool. Additionally, masks are still required on the pool deck. You don't need them while you're in the pool swimming. The chlorine is said to kill the coronavirus, but however, we don't want droplets getting on the furniture, getting on the handrails, anything else that might be touched. So please, if you're on the pool deck, relaxing, wear your mask. If you want to go somewhere else and relax outside the pool deck, that's fine. But on the pool deck, you need to keep your masks on. You will be asked to put it on. Security is revoking ID cards. You have to come back here and pick it up at my office and get a warning It happens a few times, we revoke your ID for 30 days. So please make sure you're wearing your mask. It's the rules set forth by CenClub, and we are enforcing them. The Clubhouse Fitness Center is open for residents with reservations as well. 1 hour sessions are in place to ensure that our janitorial staff can clean and disinfect all of the machines before and after each use. Group fitness classes have been moved to the online Zoom platform. We've had great feedback with thousands of residents participating. And as a reminder, 3 sessions of water aerobics are being held at the Clubhouse pool Monday through Saturday. You could sign up for that online or in the staff office. Some numbers, some updated numbers. Some pool reservations as of February are 19,085. Aqua size reservations as of February are 11,630. And total fitness center reservations as of February are 35,163. That's how many reservations we've made for residents in the past month since these facilities have been open during the pandemic. Huge numbers. Our staff's been doing a great job maintaining and making sure that as many residents as possible can use the facilities. Our Clubhouse Art Studios are open for resident use only with a capacity limit for social distancing. To use the art facilities, stop by the staff office and exchange your CVE ID card for a studio pass. Space is limited and it's limited to the room size, and it's on a first come first served basis. Again, as a reminder, you need to have your mask on at all times in the clubhouse. The billiards room and ping pong room are open for play with some restrictions. The equipment and tables in both rooms are being kept to a minimum right now. Some of the pool tables are covered. We don't have a ton of people using it, so that's fine. There's plenty of space in these rooms if you want to come and play. If you have your own stick and your own paddle for ping pong, please bring it. We do have them available. They are being disinfected on a regular basis, and you can borrow one, but we are encouraging residents to use their own equipment when they can. Our clubhouse movies are continuing to play on the normal schedule in our party room. It's been set up for social distancing since the summertime. There's the blue boxes on the floor where the chairs go. Everything's spread out. Residents have been enjoying some newer movies in the clubhouse. We've been having some theme months. If you want a schedule for our movies in the clubhouse, please check channel 99. You can check the staff office for a printed version. It's also available on our website. Some rule reminders for the movies. There's a limited seating capacity. Residents will be let in on a first come first served basis. No food or drink will be allowed in the party room. Bottled water is okay. Current residents will be able to attend the movies. Please make sure to have your ID card with you. Staff will be checking. And face coverings must always be worn while in the clubhouse and during the movies. The room is disinfected before and after each use, so you can be sure that the room is clean. Some clubhouse and recreation updates and improvements. Work has started on our new petanque and bocce court cantilever canopies, which we talked about in the annual report. The 3x3 footers have been dug and they're waiting inspection for the city. The rebar is in. Some adjustments have to be made, and hopefully we'll be able to pour concrete in those holes this week and then start assembling the actual canopies. A new hot water heater was added to the outdoor clubhouse pool shower. It's outside on the pool deck there. Warm water is available. Please do not use soap and shampoo. As a reminder, it takes 60 seconds for the water to get warm. A 30-foot Sylvester palm tree in our parking lot entrance was replaced with a new tree. The tree was unfortunately had to be replaced due to a disease called lethal bronzing. Since the disease is transmitted through the air, we've hired the palm doctor to treat all of our decorative palm trees. It's going to happen twice a year. The first dose was given last week, and the trees are now safe from this disease. It's an airborne disease. Please keep an eye out if you are president of your association for a browning in the palm trees. New trees will go through a shock, so it's not going to happen to the new trees really, but trees that are established can get this disease. If you see the tree brown very quickly, get it out of there as soon as you can. Let your management company know, because it will affect other trees nearby. For safety, additional security cameras are being installed at each satellite pool. They'll be replacing the current outdated equipment. This will allow for clearer images and more successful monitoring of the areas. The project will be complete by the end of April, and each pool will receive this upgrade. You might have noticed, for those of you going to the pools, have seen our technical team out there installing new cameras. This is for safety and security of the pools and to monitor what's going on there. As a reminder, it's extremely important to be a part of our email list. Important updates, including information related to the pandemic, information about events, classes, and activities, and our monthly happenings are being sent out to every resident on the list. As a reminder, you can join the list by coming to the staff office, signing a little form, or visiting CenClub.com. You can also sign up in person at the staff office anytime. Last year, we added over 1,200 emails to the list, so we got almost 20% more emails in 1 year than we had in all the years so far that we've been doing it. During the pandemic, we moved our classes to the online learning platform so residents can enjoy time with their instructors from home. We hope to return to in-person classes soon, but in the meantime, you could sign up online at cenclub.com/classes and view a online class brochure where there's a video of the instructors who are teaching the classes, talking about them and what you'll learn and the types of classes we have. Again, that's cenclub.com/classes. The emergency call boxes at the clubhouse and Ventnor tennis courts and Newport pools were maintenance. Moving on to our maintenance update. 199 work orders were completed for the month of January. A burnt out motor was replaced on the air handler that services the north side of the clubhouse. The lights on the clubhouse tennis court were serviced and replaced as needed with LED corn light bulbs. This project requires the team to build a 30-foot scaffolding. Pipes and cables were replaced for lighting in the clubhouse outside the chiller room. An exterior lighting survey was conducted and all lights have been checked and addressed as needed. All of our utility vehicles were serviced, including the golf carts and trucks. The annual inspection of our fire system on all recreation properties was conducted and no violations were found. The horseshoe area was serviced with new sand and scoreboards. They've been ordered and installed. Windscreens and sound barriers were reinstalled on all tennis and pickleball courts, as well as all other equipment such as clocks, bulletin boards, and the awnings. The flushometer valve, which is an actual thing, at the Upminster Ladies Room was replaced. A leaky sink was also repaired at the Ventnor pool. Some upcoming projects for February and March. Emergency lights will be serviced or replaced at all the swimming pools. Several floor outlet covers at the fitness center will be replaced. And a survey of the interior lights of all our facilities will be conducted this month. Moving on to our pool update. 40 work orders were complete over the month of January. The aquatic maintenance team pressure washed the Richmond and Ashby pool decks. Pavers were repaired at the Ventnor, Berkshire, and Richmond pool decks, where inconsistencies in the level and potential trip hazards were found. 3 underwater pool lights were replaced at Ventnor and Oak Ridge. New LED lights were added to the indoor pool pump room. A new compressor was installed on the heat pump at the Oak Ridge pool. All pool safety equipment was inspected and cleared for use. No problems were noted. All heat pumps were inspected and are working properly through the cooler weather. Some upcoming projects for the pools. Pressure washing will continue at Grantham and Newport pool decks. The last of the damaged gates will be repaired, and we will continue to address issues with pavers on all of our pool decks. Moving on to our fitness update for January. We're happy to announce a positive start to our in-person spin classes with over 20 people joining us in the first week. Spin is still and will always be available remotely through Zoom. Other in-person classes began February 1st and we'll report on that at next month's meeting. In-person pickleball instruction started on February 3rd with 3 sessions every Wednesday morning at the clubhouse pickleball courts. The outdoor fitness patio was pressure cleaned and painted, and a new router was added for Zoom broadcasting and live classes. As a reminder, no-shows for Aquasize classes are being recorded. If you cannot attend a class, please cancel your reservation to make room for another resident. Please don't lose your ability to register. 3 strikes and you're out. There'll be a time period where you won't be able to register if you keep signing up and not showing up. It's not fair to the people who want to join the classes. Our top group exercise day was Monday, January 18th, with 238 people attending group exercise class. It was a major increase from the last month, breaking a new record, or creating a new record, I should say. 69 classes are being taught each week, and Zoom will be ongoing during the pandemic and continue afterwards. Our top 3 classes for the month were low impact aerobics with Clyde, 47 students, low impact aerobics with Sean, 43 students, and body toning and weights with Clyde, 37 students. Our weekly daily average for the month was 121 residents, an increase of 16 from January, and 91 residents, an increase from 7 from the previous month. Moving on to announcements. By popular demand, virtual bingo will be held every Tuesday in February. Andy's been doing a great job calling the numbers. We're proud of him. If you want to sign up to play bingo, just visit CenClub.com/bingo, and all the information is there. The prize this month is a $5 gift certificate to Old Florida Cafe. You can go and get yourself a partial lunch. The Old Florida Cafe is also offering daily specials all week long. Please stop by the restaurant and check out the latest menu and specials. This month they're offering for March 27th, they're offering a Passover special that could be for takeout or delivery on March 27th. Each meal is $28.95 and includes a free box of matzah. For more information, you could call 954-540-03. I'm going to repeat that, 954-540-0530, or stop by the restaurant to place your order. Class registration for winter session 2 is open and online. 6-week classes will begin March 1st. Classes include computers, Spanish language, publishing your book, cooking classes, posture perfect, introduction to a drawing, and introduction to acrylic painting. Take advantage of these classes. The class showcase is available for view on CenClub.com/classes, where you can hear explanations and details of available classes from the instructors themselves. We are looking for someone to teach Apple products class. We've posted it, and hopefully we'll have somebody for the next session to teach people specifically how to use Apple-based products such as MacBooks, iPads, and iPhones. That was a special request we had from a resident. Upcoming the next cook-along event will be tomorrow, Wednesday, February 10th at 3 p.m. Chef Alice will be doing a fondue dinner for 2, which goes great for Valentine's Day. For more information on the event, visit the website, CenClub.com/cooking. All the past events and the recipe guidebooks are all available online at that website as well. The next Art and Sip event will be held on Thursday, February 11th at 3 p.m. April Dubois will be demonstrating the Wave of Love painting. Again, going on with our Valentine's theme. The drink of choice will be a chocolate martini recipe. For more information on the event, visit the website, CenClub.com/art. We are also selling small art kits at the staff office. We can get those to you if you just give us a call, and we'll get that to your house, whether you're here or somewhere else remotely. Sunday, February 14th is our next show in the gazebo, featuring Cam Falk from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. The rain date is February 21st. Monday, February 15th is our next outdoor movie. It will be The Princess Bride. It's being shown in our bus parking lot where we always show the outdoor movies. Wednesday, February 17th, BJ's Wholesale Club will be on the 3rd floor of the clubhouse to offer new and renewal memberships for our residents. February 17th is also our show at the Gazebo Day, featuring Kelly DiLorenzo. Everything's Coming Up Memories from 4 to 5 p.m. Wednesday, March 3rd is another show in the gazebo featuring Wesley Pennington. For those of you who don't know Wesley, he is one of our MCs for the theater. He's a very talented man. Come out and see him. He'll be performing with a small band from 4 to 5 p.m. Wednesday, March 17th is a show in the gazebo. It is our St. Patrick's Day special show featuring Lane Brandon. It's going to be a 90-minute show. It'll be the last of that series, and it'll be from 4 to 5:30 p.m. And by popular demand, we will be having socially distanced dances every Sunday for the month of February and March, except for February 14th, where we have a show in the gazebo. Those dates are February 21st, February 28th, March 7th, March 14th, March 21st, and March 28th. If there's inclement weather, the event will be canceled. And that concludes my report. I'd like to pass it back on.
Thank you, Mike.
Rita, thank you, everybody. That was a long one today.
Yeah. What it was, totally there. So anybody that's sitting at home with nothing to do, it's your own fault. I just have to be honest with you. We're supplying lots of activities and lots of fun if you want it. If you don't want it, that's your business. So Mike mentioned that Wesley is our one of our MCs, but Kelly DiLorenzo, who was appearing the week before, she is a former MC of ours and a musical comedy star. and she has performed for us before. And so I think that's a show not to be missed. We do have a couple of surprise shows coming up, excuse me, in April, and we'll be talking about those soon. New business. Mike, do you want to mention about GPN?
Sure. The CenClub board decided last week at a workshop to assist CookV by moving them to the International Library space, which Rita spoke about earlier. That being said, we need a place to put the International Library. So we came up with a plan to move them to the GPN room, which is downstairs near the billiards room and the regular library. We're getting new carpeting put in that room, and as soon as that is done, we'll be helping move the International Library equipment and books to the new space. We think it's a great space for the International Library. It'll bring them here to the clubhouse where all of the activities happen, and hopefully they'll be able to get more traffic and more use here in the new space. And I think the space that CookV is going to be moving into is a fantastic space for them also. They'll be able to have meetings with residents and use that space, you know, for whatever they need to do over there. There's plenty of room in that building. So I think it worked out well. The carpet has already started. They removed the baseboard, and I think they're pulling the old carpet today. I'm waiting for the new carpet to arrive, and that'll be installed as soon as possible. So as soon as that's done, we'll be able to move forward with the whole transition.
Great, thank you. And maybe you could allude to the windows that were.
Sure. As I said in the annual report for 2021, the CenClub board has approved purchase of new windows for the clubhouse. They're going to be impact windows with a gray tint to help insulate the building better. That project will begin install hopefully at the beginning of April. The building's been measured, everything's been ordered, and we're looking forward to this upgrade to the building. It's amazing. All of our windows in the clubhouse now, aside from very few, unfortunately leak water at the windowsills. And as you walk through the clubhouse, if you look, you'll see water damage from years and years of condensation and water entering the building. We're really looking forward to stopping that. Again, it's going to transform the way the building looks. It's going to modernize the way the building looks. It's going to modernize the interior, the sound from outside the building when the lawnmowers are going. We won't be hearing that, or it's going to be great. It's going to be a huge improvement to the facility and really protect us from the storms and weather.
And it's also going to cost us over $500,000.
It is.
But it's due, and it's a large sum of money. We understand that. We budgeted for it. It's one of the first things that in our study they said we needed to have done. So we're finally going to get there. Thanks, Mike. Does anyone else have any other new business that they would like to bring up right now? How about old business? How about show business? Hearing none. Does anyone have anything? Hello.
Sorry.
Anything that they would, that's okay. Anything that they would like to bring up? Then may I have a motion to adjourn our meeting and move on to the open mic section?
Motion to adjourn.
Stanley moves that we adjourn, and we have a second. Susan Dove seconds the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We will now adjourn, and we will do the open mic as best we can. I have some questions that were submitted, and we're going to start with one from Ralph, and I'm not even going to try the last name, but he lives in Oak Ridge. And the question is, my daughter is coming for 4 days, and I want to know if I can get a pool pass for her for outdoor pool for 2 days, even if she don't even go to the pool. She's not a pool person. I would suggest taking your daughter to the beach. We are not allowing guests at our pools right now. I see she's coming down here, and we don't know. We just don't know. So we would we will not issue pool passes. And if she's found there, she will be asked to leave. The next question is, when are we going to open the indoor pools? Asks John Rose of Newport. And we understand that there's a lot of residents that use the indoor pool as a therapy pool. Certainly we do understand that, but it's just not a safe environment right now. It's just not. And so we will not be opening the indoor pool anytime in the near future. Carol from Durham wants to know, for logistical and aesthetic reasons, it would be good to illuminate and maybe decorate the Durham sign in the evening, because she feels that it's practically invisible. And Carol, that's an area decision. So you need to attend your next area meeting for Durham and bring that up, and maybe it could be decided there. Gabby Gottlieb from Newport asks, when are you going to have additional first and second shots for COVID-19 vaccination available, as I was not notified for the original administration? Well, Gabby, first of all, as much as I'd like to take credit, that was a wonderful job done by Master Management. So you can direct your question to them. The last that I heard is, as soon as they get notified, if they could get more vaccine, they will let us know here in the village. That's why it's so important to make sure that not only does CenClub, but Master Management needs your email address. And if you don't have a computer, which I know some of you don't, then you need to buddy up with someone. Get a friend that has one, or a daughter or a son, some relative, a niece, whatever, and ask them to monitor our websites, because that's where all the good information is. And it was a godsend. I hope you people realize how lucky we here in Century Village are that we were able to get our vaccinations. And once again, we thank Master Management, Eli Oken, Val, for allowing us to get them. The next 5 questions are from Cliff Krupus, who evidently likes fan mail from us. His first question, and hang with me, it's a long one. CenClub keeps on changing the ID process in isolation of associations, and are not informing associations of those changes. But you are sending out 4 to 5 emails a day about the cafe and the events at the clubhouse. Where's the transparency, his favorite word, and communication? The last iteration of the process on your website said the presidents have the ability to waive the criminal and financial background checks by providing CenClub a letter, which is contrary to the reason why Rita, and on video, why CenClub jumped into and changed the process. If there are conditions attached to this waiver, none have been communicated to associations. It is not property management's responsibility to communicate those conditions to associations either. The resident approval process belongs to each association, and CenClub should be communicating directly with them. CenClub is also asking for a copy of the sale, the rental, or other type of transfer agreement, which we see as an invasion of resident privacy and a gratuitous request for information. You're getting a certificate of approval signed and sealed by the association. And that is all you need to proceed with issuing the ID, which is something Rita also confirmed. We will not provide the sale or rental agreement or our criminal and financial background checks to CenClub. You have also not addressed circumstances where an ID required for an occupant who is not a renter or a purchaser, but a resident. In the case of an occupant or a renter, there is no property transfer, and the names of the form should be changed to reflect its purpose, which is application for CVE ID. Okay, that's the question, I think. I'm Not sure, but that's what was written. So now, we had a committee work on this ID process. And you know, like everything else we do, I just like to say that we do it because we think it's the right thing, and someone needs to step up in this village and start doing the right thing. Phil Raymond was the chairperson for that committee and sat on that committee along with Michael Rackman and Stanley Spitzer, and I thank them all for their hard work. And Phil Raymond would like to read a statement replying to Cliffy's statement. Phil?
Thank you, Rita. I will try to answer all of his questions, but there's a lot thrown into that paragraph there, so I'm not sure if I'll answer everything. CenClub has not been changing the ID processing. We said it from the beginning that all decisions will be from the building board of directors. Unfortunately, there is a small group of presidents who has been trying to convince other presidents otherwise. That is far from the truth. Also from the beginning, we have said that president has the ability to waive the background check for only renters who rent year after year in the same building, just by providing us a letter along with the application and the certificate of approval to CenClub. For the safety of our residents, there should not be any waiving of any other background checks, whether you're an occupant or whether you inherited the condo. Everybody should go through a background check. And that is a hard feeling for us. Once again, our application was designed to simplify the procedure, to replace the old 14-page application used by the service companies, to make it uniform throughout the village. Any building that wants to have any additional information from their buyers or renters, that is fine with CenClub. I'd just like to send a message to all of our residents in the village. Week after week, we get phone calls and emails asking us why we allow residents to have kids. Resident who has a criminal background, resident who buys 3, 4, or more units in the village just so they can rent them out. Resident who rents units by the month, like a hotel. Resident who brings in their own pets. These people want to know why CenClub, who is responsible for issuing the IDs, are allowing this to happen. Well, folks, ask that question to your building presidents. Don't ask the volunteers that you voted into the 3 branches that governs this village, CenClub, Master Management, and Cookfeed, because according to them, none of us has allowed to make that decision. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you, Phil. And those of you that listen to the Cookfeed meeting know that there's very many people in this village concerned with this problem. In fact, right after that meeting, a resident sent me a list of condos that one gentleman owns, and that list contained 15 condos that one person owns in here. And if that isn't for investment purposes, I don't know what is. Some presidents are allowing that to happen. That's what we're trying to stop. We're trying to stop that 2-year-old that's living across the street from you. We have nothing against kids, but that's not what we signed up for here. Question 2 of Mr. Prupus's questions. In past meetings, you have refused to answer any questions about CenClub's relationship with the restaurant. I believe that residents are entitled to know if CenClub is subsidizing the restaurant operations financially, using the monthly fees that residents are paying for CenClub to pay for a portion of the restaurant's operating costs. Specifically, is the restaurant paying CenClub rent for the space and the use of the equipment? Is the restaurant paying for its own utilities? Is the restaurant paying CenClub a marketing fee for all the communications they send residents? Is there a profit sharing arrangement between the restaurant and CenClub? No, there's not. But that is funny. Number of years ago, CenClub board of directors decided that we need to consider a restaurant on our property as an amenity, just like the swimming pools, pickleball, all of our activities, the shows, everything. And we need to subsidize it. You cannot ask someone to bring the restaurant in here, close off who could come in, because we don't allow outsiders to come into this restaurant, and then say, here, go and do it, because we're nice people and you should not make a living wage. You can't do that and keep a restaurant here. We've proved it over and over again. Do we want to be in the restaurant business? No. But do we subsidize that restaurant? Yes, we do. And if that's a problem, then you need to find a different board of directors and you try to do it, because it's impossible. So yes to all your questions, and that should put it to rest. I'm sure it won't, though. Number 3, I don't have a clue how to understand it, but I'll read it. Most businesses segment their audiences, business versus residential. Residents should be given the option to select the type of communications they want to receive. CenClub is averaging 4 to 5 emails every day. People get tired of too many irrelevant emails and they unsubscribe, or it goes straight to junk mail and is deleted. Why hasn't CenClub segmented its marketing communications by their audience? Association versus residents. What's relevant to one audience may be irrelevant to the other. Well, that's very true. It might be. It probably is. But we're not in the marketing business. We're not a PR firm. We don't employ one. We don't have one. We're volunteers. And we do the best we can. If you do not want to get our emails, unsubscribe. If you don't want to get an email, delete it. Because we're going to just keep sending them because it's our only means of communication. Well, of course, we could run around to all the pools and post signs. That is nice too. But in the meantime, we're just going to just keep giving emails. Number 4, Master Management issued an annual report. I think we've already taken care of this. We gave you our annual report on the video today. We will print it up. We will give you copies of that, whatever you want. They're yours. Number 5, 4,000 people have been vaccinated in the village. People from the same household on chairs and benches have been socially distancing for the most part at the satellite pools. Guests are not permitted. Notwithstanding that we are outside and social distancing, people are still required to wear a mask when on the deck, while people who are standing in the pool in closer proximity to each other do not have to wear masks. Does that make sense? When will you ease the requirement to wear a mask on the deck? I cannot answer that. I don't know where we're going. Now there's a new variant. Are we going to have booster shots? A lot of us, as he says, 4,000 of us received the double dose of the Pfizer vaccine, for which we're very grateful. But we don't know what's going to happen down the line. We don't know what we're going to have to do. Last night on the news, they said that the variant multiplies 10 times every day. So I can't answer your question. Are we going to keep our COVID restrictions? Yes, we are. Yes, we are, because we are concerned for ourselves and for each other. And wearing a mask is what you do when you show that concern. You want to make the news like Tampa Bay did the other day? You want to be pepper sprayed? That's what happened the other day. We will go by COVID regulations. If you don't like it, I'm real sorry. I apologize for your inconvenience, but I didn't make it. None of us made it. We're just trying to stay safe. And God bless all of us. Now we're gonna try to figure out how to go to the chat, I guess, or to hands up, or Mike, Andy?
Let's do hands up. We've done it before. There's a reaction button at the bottom right-hand corner of your toolbar at the bottom of the screen.
I'm on an Apple, so I don't have that, and I only have 9 pretty pictures on mine.
If you have
So-
the reactions button, you can hit that and to raise your hand, and I will unmute you for a question. If you don't have that button, you could type it into the chat, and I'll read it aloud for Rita. I see you got a lot of applause, Rita. People are clapping for you. Okay.
Be patient with us, please.
Peter Silberman has a question. So Peter, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I just want to thank you for all that you do for the entire board and staff. And I think that your support of not only the restaurant, but all of the activities, many of which are subsidized by the fees that we pay, is totally appropriate, and they're all positive amenities to what makes the village what it is. So I encourage you to continue to support all of these activities. So thank you very much for all that you do.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for all your support and all you do for this village, which is an awful lot. Thank you.
I don't see who had their hand up first, but Gene, it's on you.
Thank you. I don't have a question. I just want to thank you for the great job you're doing. And Rita, we can't keep responding to people that are negative and hostile. We need to continue to be safe, and your guys are doing a great job with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Thank you, G. Thank you. Thank you for all you do also.
All right. Looks like Maureen was next.
There you go.
Hi. I had submitted a question on the forum asking, I like the social distance stances. I'm real happy with that, but I was wondering if it could be improved by making it later in the day, because 3 o'clock is the hottest hour of the day and there's no shade out in the parking lot. And there are lights that can come on and stay on till 8 o'clock at night. There's no water, and we're wearing masks. So the heat is going to come. It was pretty hot the last dance. I'd like to be able to dance without, passing out.
Thank you, Maureen. First of all, I apologize because I don't have your question here in front of me, but it is a good question. Yeah, we could look at the times. We have to remember they're living right next to that parking lot or Keswick residents, and we have to have, they don't always like our music, which are entitled to. But we could perhaps move it to the middle parking lot. We could look at it. How's that? And yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Peter had his hand up again, but then he disappeared, so he might have got kicked out. Does anybody else have a question? Michael Haig is raising his real hand and not his computer hand, so I will unmute him.
And it says Karen on mine. Okay.
Yeah, it does say Karen. You got to unmute yourself there.
Okay, Mike.
Did I do it?
There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Morning. Like the gentleman before that you read the questions, I have a couple because we have been trying to get some communication with questions for the pool. Before we go into it, I will make sure that I am understood that we do understand there are certain rules that need to be adhered to for safety. There is a growing population that feels maybe some of these rules are a little over the top. Some of them maybe not making all the sense in the world. And if that could be better explained, maybe we would receive them a little bit better. One of my first questions is I had a man come in from the staff office, Andy, I think his name was Andy, and he knows me. My wife and I were the only ones on the pool deck or in the water. There was nobody else there. I had my mask down. And I said jokingly to him, I said, Andy, I didn't put my mask up because I sleep with people. And he said, well, if somebody from the city comes by, you know, that's considered a violation. I said, well, I mean, we're getting a little ridiculous. If you go up to the beach where you're supposed to be wearing masks, no one is enforcing it. No one is telling anyone you have to do this, you have to do that. We're made to walk with 2 feet in one shoe here in the village. On one side of the fence, if we're on the walking trail, we don't wear a mask. If we go inside, we are wearing a mask. Again, we have to social distance, that's understood. At times, we do need to wear masks, that's understood. But again, a lot of us are feeling that it's a little bit much, it's a little over the top, and we're not children. You know, we've 11 months, you know, knock on wood, we have not gotten sick because we are taking care of ourselves. Nobody here wants to get sick. So we.
Because you're wearing the mask.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
Go ahead. Mike,
Okay.
just go ahead.
We felt they needed to blurt out while I was speaking, but it just seems like a lot of the rules are necessary. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. That would be ridiculous. Nobody wants to get sick. Another rule is you can bring a bottle of water. Why can't I bring a container of coffee and sit at the table while I'm out of the pool? I mean, some things just, they're going back and forth. We're retired people. You know, we socialize. We still can socialize to a certain extent where we still can keep each other safe. You know, whoever said that before too, when you are in the pool, you do get closer to people than when you're on the pool deck. Right now, these pools, the satellite pools, are not getting filled up at all. Some more than others, but basically nothing like we've seen in past seasons. You know, it's just, you know, my question is too, I said, we're piling people into shuttle buses that we don't know where they've been or who they've been with to go socially distance at the pool. I mean, just try to explain some of these things to me, and maybe I would be able to accept these rules a little easier.
Mike, first of all I can say is we're trying the best we can, okay? And we understand that some of the rules seem ridiculous. Also seems ridiculous to play cat and mouse games with our staff and with the security folks. Can I tell people they shouldn't stand nose to nose in the pool, that they're supposed to be swimming in the pool, not just standards? No, I can't. There's just, because they're adults, because there's just so much we can do to monitor and to give rules. All I can say is that we're trying the best we can. I understand, you know, everybody makes decisions. Right now, as much as I love the pools, I choose not to go into the pool. I just feel it's safer. That's my decision. If anybody's being punished, it's me. You make your decisions. I'm sorry that you feel that we're over monitoring. Have people in our village gotten COVID? Darn right they have. Some of my best friends have been in the hospital. Some have come out and some haven't. I'm sorry to say. And that's really sad because they don't even get a funeral. So don't fool yourselves to think that we're safe because we have a fence around us. There is COVID out there, Mike, and we're trying our best to keep as many people safe as we can.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue with you because I really do think in a lot of ways you're right. But what am I going to do?
Okay. Well, again, like I had brought up, I mean, if we bring coffee to the pool, I mean, what is the difference between coffee and a bottle of water? I mean, that's something that...
You're right. You're right. What's the difference between coffee and a soda or water and a soda? You're right. I don't know what to say to you.
Well, I'm asking you, why is that rule in effect that we can't do that?
I can't answer the question. Anybody on the board want to answer that? You can bring whatever you want to drink.
just
Bring
as something.
vodka, it kills the germs.
The fact is, you have to use common sense. If you're sitting at the pool and you have either your wife or another friend and you're sitting 6 feet away and nobody else is there and you want to take your mask off, common sense maybe it says, okay, you can do it. Nobody's going to fault you for that. The reason I think they say water is, after you come out from the pool, you want to give yourself a little drink, rehydrate. Coffee seems to be you're going to sit there and talk to your friends and hang around, and maybe that's a little bit of a difference. Whether anybody's going to enforce it if you bring the coffee instead of the water, I don't know. Again, how many people are sitting there with you? Are there a lot of people around that aren't wearing masks? It's going to be enforced. You've got to use common sense. That's basically it. I have given up all my games with all my friends for almost a year now. I won't sit down with 4 women and play my games. I don't go out to restaurants. I order and bring it into the house. I'm trying to be as safe as possible, not just for me, but everybody else around me. We're elderly. We have people who are compromised medically. We don't want to give them anything. So you've got to use just a lot of common sense right now. That's all I can say about it.
I just want to jump off that real quick. Another reason why we're limiting it to bottled water is to kind of keep down on the amount of trash that gets left behind, that people were touching and leaving. Food bags, other bottles of soda, things like that. People were leaving it behind, touching the surfaces more. And like Phyllis said, hanging out at the pool is not really what the pools are open for right now. The pools are really meant to be open for rehabilitation and exercise and cooling off. We don't want people congregating as much as they normally would do at the pools. That's why we're not allowing cards there. We're not allowing eating there and things like that.
Okay, well, I mean, that's somewhat of an explanation. And again, that's what we've been asking for so that we do understand. If you understand the rules, maybe it's a little bit easier to accept than just being written out to you. This is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. You kind of understand what I'm saying with that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand. But you have to also understand that a lot of communities, I know several in Boca, my friends up in Lake Worth where he lives, their pools still aren't even open yet, and they have no end in sight for that. So we're lucky that we're having them open. We're lucky we have security to do, the job that they are doing, and making sure guests aren't there and children aren't there, and we have a full pool staff and a full janitorial staff making sure that the pools are clean also. So we're really lucky we have that. Let's not ruin it by doing something different now. We don't want to get shut down or have the virus come through here. All right, that's it, Mike. Thank you. Next is it looks like Larry has his hand up.
Great, thank you very much. I very much appreciate the good work and volunteer effort you do. It's between a rock and a hard place between providing for our citizens our safe welfare and also complying with state, city, government laws. I appreciate Lee's comments because I would like to understand how the board forms their decisions, their rules, whether it's coffee or soda pop or water, whether that's just a pass-through of information that's mandated by some other government entity that you have to follow, or do you have some leeway in that? What I'm really wanting to ask is to see if you can extend the swimming pool hours beyond 7 o'clock, maybe till 9 o'clock. The reason is personal in one regard. I don't get a chance to use it, until the evening. And the second regard has to do with safety. If the board is genuine about safety, protecting against COVID, then the worst times by far for people using the pool is the middle of the afternoon on a weekend day. I went to the pool and people are sitting at tables and they're kibitzing and they're in the pool and there's a lot of people and they're around the deck. That's clearly a crowded time. So if the board were going to do something, it might be to somewhat restrict hours, to that peak time. But I know that's between the rock and the hard place. You can't do that and offend people. So my reasoning to go to a pool later, aside from convenience for my own schedule, it's also safer. There are fewer people there, and that, at least from one person, myself and my wife, that'll spread out our participation away from those busy times into the evenings hours. That's my question. And the last question is there any way I can source your decision-making on the board from the organizations that you have to comply with in order to make these decisions here at Century Village? And thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Mike, being the executive director, keeps up with the Deerfield Beach mandates, and like he said, there's a lot of condo communities that don't have their pools open yet, or their gyms, and we've been very fortunate, and we haven't gotten ourselves into any problems. How do we reach these decisions? Through a lot of time, through a lot of conversation. We're just honest people like you, trying our best and trying to represent a community, a big community, and make it the safest for everybody. Truthfully, you want to know why the pools close at 7? Because we need to babysit them, and that's unfortunate. And I don't even like to use that word because we're a senior citizen community. But as soon I said to some lady, you really should have your mask on. She said, why? Security doesn't come around here this time of day. And I'm like, lady, we're wearing the masks not for security, but to protect each other. And that's the kind of mentality sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we're faced with. We will start looking at increasing, maybe we could start keeping them open a little later. Starting to stay lighter a little later. I noticed last night it was a little lighter when we ate dinner. So it's getting better. We're coming out of the darkness of winter, even though we live in Florida, there still is a darkness in winter. So we're listening to you, and we'll try. That's all I can say.
Maureen's hand is up still. Did you have another question? Oh, you're muted, Maureen. I'm sorry. You have to unmute yourself.
There she is.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. I didn't know I was gonna get a second chance, but what I was gonna suggest is the vagabonds. The vagabonds who used to rehearse in the music room.
Oh, yeah. Pitch Snyder's group, yeah.
They are excellent. Is there any chance they might come and play for us?
We'll talk to them. Thank you. Sure. I don't even know if they're all down here right now, but yeah. They would be a great group for us to sit and listen to. We used to sit and listen to them in the hallway while they practice, so.
Yes. Oh, hey, Rita, could I ask you one more thing? Who's in charge of our new park? Is
that's master management. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Wrong meeting. Okay, no problem. But I know that Eli's listening, so. And
all right, Peter has his hand up again.
Okay.
Yes, I would just like to address the question of background checks. And I'm a president of my building, and I think it would be a dereliction of my duties if I did not perform background checks on any renters or new residents, new owners that came in order to protect the other owners in my building. But I understand that that's a responsibility and a decision to be made by the individual buildings. However, I still think that CenClub should have their own requirement for background checks, because these people that come into the village are using all of the public facilities that you provide. And I think it's important for other residents to be protected by you. So I would encourage you to still have a requirement for background checks, even if buildings choose not to do that.
Thank you, Peter. I couldn't agree with you more. You know, why wouldn't we want people who are going to be using the same locker rooms, fitness facilities as we are to be checked? You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, I neglected, thank you, Peter. I neglected to read an email that came, and I will read it right now. And it was from a lady who lives in, no, she doesn't live there. I don't know where she lives. Anyway, she said she evidently received the email that Cliff Purpose sent out to all the presidents that he knows. She said, I would be very happy to give CenClub the authority to deny an ID to any applicant who has been illegally approved by presidents or their boards, such as young families with children, renters or buyers who do not qualify, or owners who run businesses from their units. Because apparently nobody has any authority to force these boards to follow their own rules as dictated by their documents. To all who just approve any applicant, I would say, check how losing your 55+ designation would affect your building, and also how it affects everyone else in the community and puts an undue burden on our resources. So this kind of goes along with what Peter just said, and I think a lot of you out there agree with that, and thank you, Maureen. So, yeah. Anyone else? Mike, do you see anybody else's
We got a
hand?
few more. Stanley Rapkin. I'm just looking for him here so I could unmute him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay, Stanley, you have a question?
Quick question. Has there been any consideration to village-wide Wi-Fi?
Village-wide Wi-Fi. Well, we have it at the pools and we have it at the clubhouse. That's the only areas that we really have control over as far as that goes. But I think that broadband across the whole village would be a major undertaking involving some kind of tower or some kind of what do they call it? A net, or I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think that would be more of a question for the associations and
Master
management
in the next contract that they have with Comcast/Xfinity.
Right. 'cause
And I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I think Century Village in Boca has got village-wide Wi-Fi.
Yes, they have. They do.
Okay, thanks.
But that they got that on their last contract. So I do know that Master Management was looking into that, and it would be them that does it. So.
Right. Thank you.
Sure.
I think
Anybody else, Mike?
Unless there's anything else. I see none. Oh, Stanley's got his hand up.
Stanley Pfister. Stanley?
Yeah, I noticed that there are a number of chats. I can't see them. How did we get that to download?
I can.
I click on it. Oh, okay, I see it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Prupas seems to be making a number of chat comments repeatedly. I wonder if he would want to just grab the mic, the virtual mic, and ask a question if he has one.
Cliff, are you there? There's no picture, but I know that I think you're there. So if you'd like to say something, speak up now. Unmute yourself and someone asked what does Whole Rod or CVRF have to do with CenClub? Absolutely nothing. We bought them out, folks. December 31st, 2019, we bought them off. So we are the owners. They are the former owners of the property. We've got some people that said the restaurant's a positive asset to the community. And I certainly think it is. You know, there are people that live in our village that do not get to go out of the village ever, even in good times. And for them, the restaurant is a blessing because we know at least they're getting one hot meal a day. Sit outside there. You don't have to go in if you don't want. Sit outside there sometime and watch. You'll see people who otherwise aren't eating for whatever reason are taking advantage of it. It's hard to keep a restaurateur here. We say to them, no, you can't bring people in from outside. So it's hard. Cliff says he's okay. I finally got the answers to the questions that others have been asking before me. So, okay. We try to be transparent. Some of you don't think we are, but we try. And this was our first experience with this quote open meeting, and we're fine as long as you're patient with us. So we thank you, and we will call an end to this, and we will come back in March for more, because that's the kind of people we are. Okay, I'm going to ask the board to stay on right now, and everybody else be good, be healthy.
And as a reminder, the annual report video is available at CenClub.com. I'm going to ask Andy to put a link to it on the front page so it's easy to find. And it'll be on channel 98 today, as well as a print version in the staff office. And the print version, of course, is also available for download on the website at CenClub.com/documents. And thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you to everyone
Thank
for sitting through that 15-minute video.
Yeah, it was good. You handsome guys. Okay.